So we have baked our Yorkshire Parkin, and we have had our lunch. We've been spoilt by Mr. M. And so, actually, do you think you could bring us one of the Parkins that's up there, that's still in the tin, and we can just show that? Because so Yorkshire Parkin, Yorkshire Parkin, you wouldn't eat as soon as you've made it. You'd leave it for a couple of weeks. So I have, in the fashion of Blue Peter, here's one I made earlier, and this one. Bring the square one, because that's Lynn's. That's Lynn's. Yep. And if you could just hold that up to the camera. So this is Lynn's Yorkshire Parkin, that is out of the oven. Yep, there we go.
And the smells are incredible in your kitchen.
Yeah. And that's okay. Thank you very much.
Oh, you see that?
Yep. Yeah. So well done, you.
Okay.
So that's staying in the tin until it's cool, and then you take it out, and just like the Christmas cake, you wrap it in a layer of foil. And this has been sitting here for 2 weeks, and it has a double layer of parchment paper. And oh my goodness me, just look at that. Let me just roll my sleeves up for this. Yeah. And you can really tell the difference. So do you want an edge piece?
Oh, always an edge. Sorry.
She's a guest.
I do like edges.
The edge bits are the best bits.
Yeah.
So
and Florence obviously agrees with me, because she's...
You want to just bring your
plate? Thank you.
I'll let you just pick that up.
There we go.
And you feel how it's all sticky and
you see the density in it as well.
Yeah. So it's not a light cake.
Florence.
No.
Yeah, Florence, don't give me a paw. You're not allowed to give me a paw.
There we go. So this would be something that we'd have on bonfire night,
and you still get that lovely smell. Now you still pick nutmeg out in that.
Yeah.
Smell the ginger.
Oh, did you want some butter?
I don't know if we do.
I
don't.
No, I wouldn't have butter, but some people do.
I would if I'm not on camera, but I'll eat it this way.
So although it's not your parking that you've made, this I can guarantee this is what your parking will taste like.
So I dig in?
Yeah, dig in.
I'm going to break the cake a little bit. Oh, I like that. Taste that treacle in it. Really identify the flavours in it.
Do you like that type of taste?
Treacle takes me back. Have you ever put custard on it? Yeah. You know, my husband would taste this and go, "Pass me the hot custard."
Hot custard.
Hot.
No cold custard.
Not cold custard.
So, what we'll do is we'll have a little bit of a chat, and we can eat ours off camera so that people don't need to watch it. But we'll munch on that. But what we're going to do is we're going to carry on chatting about our books. So as I say, this is out of the whole reason for Beyond the Tea Room is so that I can do this, so that I can sit with people, so that I can cook, I can bake, and we can sit around and we can share the cakes, because the tea room was a tea room family. You know, we used to sit, and more often than not, you'd see Jim doing the work, and me sitting at a table with one of the customers having tea and cake, and sometimes I used to let him sit down.
I used to sit and used to shout through your orders. I know
we did, yeah. But it was that, you know, so it certainly wasn't one of these where you go in and, oh, what's your name? And then write your name on the cup, and so it was a place for people just to come and sit and chill, and like usually the cakes had a customer's name, but the Yorkshire Parkin doesn't. The Yorkshire Parkin is mine. Nobody else's. It's mine. Yeah.
You were asking about Christmas things, but I used to do a Christmas ham all year round. So I used to get a big joint of ham. This huge, and I used to stud it with cloves. And I used to use honey and put it over and brown sugar. And I used to get in early in the morning. So by the time you came in at lunchtime, and they all used to be sitting drooling over waiting, wanting to taste my ham.
But I think it's nice to have things like, I know they're reserved for Christmas, but we should have them all year round. Some things are.
But I tell you the funniest thing was, so you know, it do the ham and then it slice it up, and there'd be all the bits and pieces coming off and everything. And I'd go into the fridge, and in the tea room, everything had to be labelled in the fridge when you'd opened it, how long it'd last, and you know how many times it had been looked at, really. And I'd go in, and there'd be this plate of these pieces of this gorgeous ham, and I'd say, why is that ham not labelled? And he'd say, well, that's for Beatrix. So Beatrix used to get the best ham ever. Yeah. But people used to like, oh, is the ham cooked yet? You know, do you need me to taste it? yeah. So, but it was that sort of place. So, but I didn't win the lottery on Saturday, so still no tea room. But one day there will be. Which is why when you were talking to me and saying, you know, could I work with you on your book? And I was like, what's it called? And she's Pink Cafe. I was like, of course I can. Yeah. So I saw this right from not being a finished product.
Yeah.
And Lynn used to send it me a chapter at a time, and which meant that I didn't really know what was happening. I didn't know the end of the book until I read the last chapter. I was very tempted when you sent me the last few chapters to actually read the last page, but I didn't. And I waited, and I was like, wow, yeah. So
I think as well, when I was sending you the chapters, you know, people think, you know, you're writing, that you write in this kind of logical fashion. And the reality is you don't, because you get an idea.
Yeah.
And you think, oh, it's 9:30 at night, I can't go to sleep because this idea is going to work. But there's also certain chapters that I did delete. Like, no, I don't want to do that to the character. Or other characters emerged, you know, and it's like suddenly you start to get a feel for it. So as I was editing, I would look at it and go, actually, I want to bring this person in.
That's right. And sometimes it's looking at things and going, actually, I've said that this person does that, but actually they can't do it in that chapter because in chapter 4 they did whatever. So that's kind of the sort of thing that goes on when you're writing the book. So let's have a little bit out of your book.
Before I read out my book, Debra, I thought writing, the book gets written, it goes onto a shelf and off you go. I mean, you're writing a book, that's the easy part.
It is.
It's then marketing. And I remember when you said we're having a book launch, I thought, that is so far out of my comfort zone. And here we are today doing this. And it feels quite natural to be doing that.
Yeah.
And the quicker I read, the quicker I get the rest of my cake. So I'll read this is chapter 17, which I believe is on page 96. And I might have to take my glasses off so you won't see my face, you'll see the book. The local book group met in the Pink Cafe on Thursday lunchtime. It was the only group to reserve a table every week. Julie discouraged the staff from allowing people to book tables, as she had a good set of regular customers and always tried to accommodate them. But this book group always made special requests, and she was happy to grant them. All of them were retired teachers. Evelyn, a retired school head teacher, Chris, who taught history, Morven taught music, and Chris, who taught art. Iris was the noisiest of the group, would often arrive 20 minutes late after the others, and inevitably there would be an incredible story of her lateness. As she lived nearby, this made her tales even funnier. The first time Tatiana met Iris, she saw her run to the cafe and heard one of these tales. Sorry I'm late. A washing machine almost ran me over. I mean, a man was trying to take a washing machine down Logie's Lane in a buggy, And I was hurrying out of the charity shop and I ran right into it. The poor bugger got a fright. The man, not the washing machine. Still, that will teach him to look out for crazy women like me, Iris announced, not pausing for breath and thumping herself down in a chair.
Very good. Yeah. And that's what I liked as well. That there were all these different things going on in the book, and I won't sort of spoil the story, but there was the book club. There was this going on. There was this going on, and it kind of all brought together. And excuse me, as you go through the book, it kind of all makes sense. And that's why they did that, and that's why, yeah.
I think for me as well, writing the book, there was moments in it that were very cathartic for me. There was no denying it.
Yeah.
There was the odd time I closed the laptop and the tears tumbled, and it's such a healing thing to do. You know, and if you are going to write a book, I would say do write the book and just go with it. And I don't think would this person exist in real life or not, remember you're writing fiction.
Yes.
You're not writing fact.
So where does the name The Pink Cafe start from? Where did it come from?
I'm not going to tell you because you'll have to read the book.
I have read the book.
I know, but it tells the story.
Yes. Yeah.
I know, but where in your head did it originate? How did it come about in your head?
I think if you've got a book on a shelf, you want it to kind of stand out. You know, you want it to kind of stand out, and that's why obviously putting in the pen name and you start to see it in your mind. And often, you know, and Debra, you fully understood this, in your head you see the end product. But if you explain that to people as you're writing, they would go, what are you on about? So for me, I just thought the Pink Cafe, it just made sense.
It made sense right from the start.
It made sense right from the start.
Yeah.
But as I say, the title of the book didn't really come till last year, and I'd actually written chapters. And I've learned, you know,
do you want to just zoom up onto the camera with that, with the
and I've
cover?
learned as well just that sometimes go with an idea because you can always delete things.
Yes. Yeah.
It's back to front.
But they'll see it. Yeah.
They'll see it. And that gives me a chance to get another bite of this.
Yeah. And it is, and it's got that lovely fit. It's got the same cover that Beatrix's book, or Beatrix's new book. Have you seen the new cover? That's the new cover.
Isn't that nice smooth?
Yes, it's the same one as yours. So, or revamped. Yeah. So that's the new cover of Beatrix's book. Yeah. So where can we get your book from?
You can get it from Waterstones and St Andrews. You can get it from Daydreams Bookshop in Mulgai. You can buy directly from me or through all the usual outlets.
So how do they buy direct from you?
If they send me a direct message through Instagram, I'll be in touch.
Okay, and I'll put your contact details on in the video as well in the post. Yes. Yeah. So how did it feel when you got your book through? When you got your first copy, your author copy through?
I don't think I quite took it in. It felt unreal. I think at that point, because we were planning for the book launch, there were so many things to think about. And obviously, I've got my other life and my other business away from the book. It was almost like I didn't believe it. I think when it hit home was the night of the book launch, and I thought, I'm glad you pushed me, Debra. I'm glad you pushed me. And sitting with the books all in front of me, then it felt really real. It felt real. Yeah. It felt like, I've actually done this. Yeah. We've done this.
Yeah. That's it.
Would you like to do this full time, or would you rather keep your other business going?
I like to do a mixture of things. I think it's good as well, because when you are in the zone of writing, as you know, it's almost like you block out the rest of the world.
It's all encompassing.
And it's encompassing, and you need to be out in the real world, because you'll maybe hear a name and you'll go, that's a brilliant name. Yep. That's a character in my book. So you want to be in the real world as well.
You were laughing about that during your dream.
Oh yes, yeah.
Maybe we shouldn't say that because you'll use it in your book.
I will, yeah. But I was dreaming about. So we've been without a shower now for 6 weeks, and apparently the showers it's in a black hole somewhere, and it's been stopped for the number of reasons that it's been stopped, all probably very legitimate reasons why it's not here. But the fact is, it's still not here.
It was delivered to a certain address. I'm not going
Yeah.
to say what it is, but it will work in the,
Yeah.
in the book.
But in my dream, I woke up and my shower had been delivered to an address. And normally you can't remember your dreams, but I could remember this address, and I had to get up in the morning and key in on Google Maps this address to see where it was. But actually, there were millions of them. So yeah, yeah. So but that was
Quite
a bit
funny.
strange. Yes, yeah. So it is that thing, you know, if you sit long enough to an author, you become part of the book. You know. You'll be included in the next book.
I had this situation once when I was chatting to somebody, you know, you meet people on holiday, and she said, "So you sitting observing everybody?" And I think she thought I was actually observing everybody, and I generally wasn't. You know, I was on holiday just actually relaxing, reading something else.
Yeah.
And you know, and just
But
not
you're
actually.
people, you're
Yeah.
a lot of times you're a people watcher.
Yes.
We all do it.
Yeah.
I think sometimes you do it, and people say, "Where did the idea come from for a name?" And you can't quite remember. You
No.
just get a name, and
Yeah.
I always think that's the beauty of reading. When you are watching a movie or something, a director has decided what the character would look like. But we could all read the book, and we would all have a slightly different perception of what a character looks like.
Yeah.
And I think that's sometimes why some movies if you've read the book first, you're going,
yes,
that's a disappointment. That's not the character. The
I
character's
think
not like that.
actually Debra's strength within books is she can recount something exactly if it was 12 years ago, and she could come up with tell you this. But I said, what are you talking about?
I can't remember Jim's telephone number, but you know I can remember what happened. Which road I was sat in on 10 years ago.
Detail as far as things that you know, accounts of life, the shots. Remember that hill we walked up? I said, no, I don't. No.
Yeah. So what's next then? Is there a follow-on?
Yes. I'm just figuring out the title. It'll be called A Cross in My Pink Heart.
So you're sticking with the pink thing.
So it's a pink.
Yeah.
And
so
and consciously, pink is not my favourite colour.
Right.
So I think one of my friends was quite surprised it was called the Pink Cafe. It's not my favourite colour.
So when do you think that's going to be out then?
I don't know. It really, I mean, at the moment I'm busy with my other commitments, but between Christmas and New Year time, I will get some writing. And as with most authors, it depends on the sale of your first book as well. You want your first book to do well. Yep. And also you've got to plan time for marketing your book.
Yes.
And that's something when you are self-published, you don't realise you've got to factor that in.
It's a big thing. Do you think it'll be next year?
Yeah, I would love to towards the end of next year. Because I discovered the actual bit to get to market is easier some with the second book because you've already got other things in place.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Well, that's good. So
thanks to your encouragement. I still can't believe sometimes like I'm here. You know, it's like, how did this happen?
Yeah. Well,
but you've managed it, so
but you've done it.
Yeah. So
you know.
Yeah. Just be proud of what you've done.
Yeah. I think what is interesting when you start to follow people on Instagram, they think you're actually a cafe, and they follow you back only to realise that you're not a cafe after all.
No.
You used to get a lot of that.
I know. I used to get a lot with people still thinking that the tea room was open.
For about 2 years
hence
after, I was getting a phone call.
I've changed it now, and it's Mother Murphy's Beyond the Tea Room. So yeah. So, well, have you enjoyed that? Have you enjoyed coming in?
It's been so relaxing. Do you know that? I've had quite a kind of busy week with other things, and there's something kind of almost therapeutic about baking, isn't there? Especially the smells and smell of the black treacle. It's got a gorgeous smell.
Yes.
And I say it took me back to my childhood, and it's really been nice. And thank you very much, both of you, for having me. And your soup is fantastic, Jim. And I do like my veg, so you know how I like my soup.
Yeah.
But it's been really nice having this time, which was like away from all the frantic stuff, and obviously you're juggling your other clients as well.
Yes.
You know, and I, you know, get out there.
But that was good. So I'm not sure when this will be aired. Obviously, I need to edit the videos. But it will be up, and I'll put all your details on there. And at some point, when Colin is over his
Hope you're feeling
is
better soon,
COVID. Yeah,
Colin.
hope you're feeling better soon. And we will find something else for Colin to make. And Elaine from the bookshop is still to
Maybe
come
Colin
as well.
can make what I was going to be making, something chocolatey.
Maybe, yes, yeah. Okay, and thank you very much. And if you want to find out more, you can follow us. You can get my books as well. You can get
So
my
you want
book.
to just, I mean, I know it's terrible to say, but just give your little books a plug before
Yep.
the end.
So
Oh, right,
I've
where's
talked
mine?
about that. So the Magical Tea Room on the Hill, and my second book as well, which was Beatrix the Time Travelling Colour, and Lynn's book, The Pink Cafe, star of the show today.
Thank you.
Yes. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Okay,
you.
bye.
Bye.